I'm an Israeli citizen. I know you are the Prime Minister of a democratic country that doesn't differentiate between Arabs, Jews, or Druze. I'm asking you to bring me back to Israel. It's very, very difficult for me to be in this prison. I promise before God to change and become a better person. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
A Hebrew plea from an Arab Israeli locked up in a Kurdish prison in northeastern Syria, asking Benjamin Netanyahu to bring him home. But Saif Sharif Daoud is suspected of fighting alongside the Islamic State terrorist group. He was captured by Syrian Democratic Forces a little over a year ago. Daoud, age 30, who has already agreed to be interviewed twice in recent days, appears to regret having joined the Islamic State in Syria in 2015 to, quote, help the Syrian people.
I lived the Second Intifada. I saw the war. I lived in the West Bank and Israel. Israel didn't do 1% of what Bashar al-Assad did. There was fighting and all that, but Israel didn't rape or unjust women on television, nor did it ever kill anyone so barbarically.
Saif grew up in Kfar Bara in central Israel, where his family still lives, a small town of a few thousand people located near the West Bank border. Just 18 miles northeast of Tel Aviv, his brother Hudayfa recalls the weeks before Saif's departure.
He suffered from mental health issues. He used drugs for a long time, and that's when he started to wear the kufi and become more religious. A month later, he had already flown away. His departure was a real surprise. I was in constant contact with him. He never wanted to tell us what he was doing, not to put us in a difficult situation. He only told me about how he saw the Syrians suffering.
In his own words, Saif simply served as a nurse within the terrorist group, a period during which he also married a Syrian woman with whom he had 2 children. They lived discreetly in Turkey.
He didn't betray Israel. He simply entered a territory that was forbidden to him without diplomatic relations. This is not treason. He didn't join Hamas or Fatah, nor Hezbollah, nor Iran. It's pointless making a story out of it because it's the Islamic State, as if they had killed the whole world. Again, my brother didn't join the Islamic State. He went there to help the Syrian people.
Hudayfa is convinced of his brother's innocence and tries to minimize his actions and his attachment to the terrorist group. But Israeli authorities say Saif is nothing less than a terrorist.
This is a question that arises in Western countries as well. How to behave with those who come back. Revoke their citizenship? Let them come back? Stop them or not? For Israel, those who return are considered members of a terrorist group and are punished as such.
Around 80 members of the Arab Israeli community have joined the terrorist organizations in Iraq or Syria in recent years. Schweitzer says it's a minor phenomenon. While most of them died in fighting, some have already returned to Israel. They were tried and convicted. Today, about 20 Israeli Arabs are ready, on the spot, to fight on behalf of the Islamic State. The Israeli Prime Minister's office did not wish to comment on Saif Sharif Daoud's case.